All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the high-stakes, high-reward world of mass tort litigation. And in this world, being first isn't just a nice-to-have, it's everything. So let's start with a core question. In this incredibly competitive race, what's the real difference between the firm that leads the charge and all the others just trying to keep up? Well, as we're about to see, in mass torts, that difference is the whole ballgame. So where does this all go down? The main event, the battleground itself, is what's known as the Mass Tort MDL. This is where the fight for control really happens. Now, MDL just stands for multi-district litigation. But here's an easy way to think about it. Instead of having thousands of separate lawsuits all over the country, the system bundles them all together in front of one judge. It's all about making a huge, complex process way more efficient. And when we talk about what's at stake here, we are not kidding around. Just look at the 3M Combat Arms earplugs case. That MDL ended in a $6 billion settlement. That's the kind of scale we're dealing with. It makes you wonder, who's in the driver's seat for something that massive? Well, the court appoints what's called a Plaintiffs' Steering Committee, or PSC. And let me tell you, this isn't some honorary title. These are the folks who run the entire show for the plaintiffs. They build the strategy, they run discovery, they argue the big motions, and they lead the settlement talks. They call the shots, period. Okay, so if getting on that committee is the prize, how do you win it? This gets us to the absolute heart of the matter for any ambitious firm. It's the first mover imperative. Because in this game, timing truly is everything. It really all boils down to something incredibly simple. The gap between being a leader and being a follower, it's all about who gets the crucial information first. That is the fundamental truth of this entire space. So why is being first so incredibly powerful? Well, think of it like a domino effect. When you file first, you're sending a massive signal to the judge that your firm is committed and has done the work. It shows you have the expertise. And that instantly puts you at the table when the leadership team is being built, positioning you for those top roles like co-lead counsel. This really lays out the two paths your firm can take. The first movers, they get in early. That means they're the first to advertise for cases when it's cheap, giving them a direct line to leadership. Everyone else, they're left chasing cases in a super crowded and expensive market. It's a mad scramble with way less influence and a much, much harder path to the top. So if being first is so obviously the goal, how do you actually pull it off? I mean, in today's world where information moves at the speed of light, well, this is where the modern solution, powered by AI, comes into play. Because let's be totally honest with each other. Every firm that wants to be a player knows they need to be first. That's not the secret. The real problem, the billion-dollar question, has always been how? How do you find out what's coming next before everyone else does? Well, that exact problem is what a platform called Velocity Justice was purpose-built to solve. At the heart of Velocity Justice is their service called NextMassTort. Think of it as your own personal intelligence agency. It's an AI platform that is working around the clock, scanning and analyzing safety signals for drugs and medical devices, specifically to spot the next big mass tort, long before it ever hits the news. And this is not just some vague tip. We are talking about a full-blown weekly intelligence report. You get early warnings, deep dive profiles on the companies involved, complete regulatory timelines, the whole shebang. And here's the kicker. Every single opportunity is legally vetted against Supreme Court precedent, so you know it's solid ground to act on. So that all sounds impressive, but let's get down to brass tacks. What does this actually mean for your firm's competitive edge? How does this intelligence translate into a real, measurable return on investment? Just think about it. Picture the mountain of hours your best people spend just grinding through manual research, digging through databases, reading scientific papers. Now imagine you could practically eliminate all of that. You're freeing up your top litigators to do what they do best, build the winning strategy for the case. And this is the point I really want to drive home. The platform doesn't just dump a pile of raw data on your desk and say, good luck. It delivers a steady stream of real, actionable leads. These are opportunities that are already teed up and ready for your firm to investigate and move on, right now. So you can see how this all connects, right? It creates this incredible upward spiral.
You get that true first mover advantage. That directly leads to a higher marketing ROI and radically lower client acquisition costs. And it's all built on a solid foundation of intelligence that you can actually take to the bank.
So, this all brings us to the final, really provocative question. A question that every ambitious law firm has to ask itself. In this new era of legal intelligence, are you ready to stop chasing the crowd and finally start leading the charge?